Hi everyone, I'm Sandy Kruse and I am a registered holistic nutritionist and the podcast host of Sandy K Nutrition, Health and Lifestyle Queen.
Okay. Well, Sandy, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. So can you tell us a little story about what brought you to this specific career path?
Sure. It's a longer story, so I'm going to go there. When my daughter was 5, she was diagnosed with a soft tissue sarcoma, and exactly 1 year after she was having her second surgery, I was both diagnosed and then I had my entire thyroid removed because of thyroid cancer. And I really had to figure out how to gain a little bit of control of our health. My husband actually coded 1 year after. It was this weird snowball effect of health issues in my family and serious health issues. So I really had to figure out how can I gain back my control of my health. And of course, there are uncontrollables in life, right? Like we can't control everything, but I felt like I had completely lost all control. And so I actually went back to college at 46 after I had, I'm going to call it like a grieving period, because I really definitely went through a period of victim consciousness. I felt like a victim. I felt like, why is this happening to us? Like, we're not really unhealthy people. Why? And then I realized that this is just part of our journey. That's part of my journey. And my journey was to go back to college and then say, okay, how can I turn this around and help other people? So I became a registered holistic nutritionist. And then I'm like, this is great. I get to work with people one-on-one and help to optimize their wellness. But then I need to do more. And so I started the podcast because I wanted that megaphone. I wanted to share it with the world. Like, here are some things you can do to optimize your wellness. So that's, a little bit of a long story, but that's how it all started.
Great. So what are 3 things you wish someone would have told you before you started your career?
Is this relating to my wellness or is this relating to my career?
Both.
Both. Okay. Well, my wellness, number 1, symptoms matter. I am trained in symptomatology now, and I find that there are so many people who dismiss and ignore when they have chronic symptoms. Symptoms matter. Number 2, in terms of my wellness, if your physician or practitioner isn't your best advocate, find a new practitioner who is, because they are your partners in your wellness. And if they are not there to advocate for your best health, or they gaslight you in any way, shape, or form, find one who will support you. I think that's very important. And then the third thing in terms of wellness I wish I had known would probably be, back then, I didn't think I had control over my wellness. And I felt like I had to hand it all over to, especially when I had the diagnosis of thyroid cancer. We now live in an information society where we have information at our fingertips. Back then, that wasn't really the case. I was only 35 years old. No, sorry. I had cancer at 41, but 35 was when my symptoms began. And so now we have so much information. So do your research, use reputable sources, and do your research so that you can really, in an educated manner, go back to your physician or your practitioner and say, you know what, this isn't right. I was researching about this. And if your practitioner is your best advocate, they're going to work with you. So those are the 3 things, absolutely, for wellness. And in terms of my career, well, whenever you're starting your own practice, you think, oh, all the clients are going to come rushing into you. And then it just doesn't happen. So you have to be patient and you have to buy your time. If you're starting your own business, that's key. Podcasting, my goodness, well, you would understand this. It's really hard to get started in podcasting and you feel like nobody's listening. But this is something that my husband has said to me, and I feel it's really worth mentioning. He goes, even if you have that one person who cares about what you're saying, then your message is being delivered. You just need to be patient for it to expand to others. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is you always have to keep learning. I didn't even rehearse this. That's pretty good, isn't it? No, but like I am constantly researching, constantly learning, especially in this field of biohacking, in this field of wellness. Things change by the day. And so I always say, I reserve the right to change my mind because research changes. And so you have to just keep learning all the time.
So none of us are able to achieve success without some help along the way. Is there any particular person who's made a difference in your life?
Oh gosh. I know this is going to sound corny and cheesy, but my husband. And I'll tell you why. He is a business owner and he built his own business from nothing. And he's always encouraged me to, and helped me to learn how to really grow what I needed to grow and what I was passionate about. And I'm so passionate about this.
How has wellness played a big role in your life?
Oh, it's huge. Not that I never cooked. I actually come from an Eastern European background. My mom always cooked. But I found when I had young children, you know, you just kind of would throw things together, or you'd be like, it's so much easier to buy food. And, you know, I learned that eating whole, real foods is key. It's not about diets. I learned how to respect my body and respect what goes into my body, and that was really key. Even though I have literally done almost every diet under the sun since I had my thyroid removed, it was like I kept trying to chase what I used to be like. And also, but as a nutritionist, it's important to test things out. But, you know, I found that when I did severe restriction, it actually caused me more stress. And so if my body feels okay with what I'm eating, which is usually whole, real foods, then I'm not going to cut it out. I don't care if it has carbs.
Can you share with our readers what innovations you're most excited about in the health and wellness field?
Sorry, what?
What innovations are you most excited about?
I would have to say the biggest thing is I'm seeing more and more people, and it's not really an innovation because there's so many. I mean, we're here, you know, there's so many different things that are amazing. So there's not one thing, but what I'm seeing is this massive community that just keeps growing of people who really want to do well and age better. Like, I think that's key. You know, I'm 52 now. I feel younger and I feel better now than I did at 41. And so this is the key. Let's try and age better and age without disease, as far as we have that control anyway.
Yeah. As you know, COVID-19 has changed the world as we know it. What do you suppose health and wellness companies need to be doing to adjust accordingly?
I feel that more education for individuals to gain some control of their best health needs to happen on a larger scale. So we educate ourselves and we know where to find the answers we need to find, but really being able to communicate that more to the masses, I feel will be very helpful as a society overall.
So as a board certified wellness coach that basically coaches cancer survivors, I found the theme of second chances a powerful motivator. What keeps your spirits still firing?
Oh, my passion for what I'm doing. And of course, I have to mention my family, of course, my family, but also just I'm so passionate about just where my life has headed and where it is still, like, I mean, things can change on a dime, but I'm just very passionate about what I do.
So you're a wellness insider. How would you describe the perfect wellness experience?
Oh, perfect wellness experience. Let me think about this one. I'm not sure what you mean by the perfect wellness experience. Like,
Mind, body, whatever
oh,
comes to you.
well, I actually just talked about that just now in my lecture. The perfect wellness experience would embody an alignment of the body, the mind, the soul, and the spirit. So I separate, some people will put spirit and soul together. I separate them because what fuels, like what feeds your fire, fuels your soul, is different than spirit. You know, in spirit, to me, it's not about a religious belief, although it can be, right? It's whatever you want it to be. But having a belief that we have a reason to be here, we have a reason for our journeys, I feel it's very powerful. And that to me is like a perfect wellness experience. If you actually can get in touch with all of those 4 aspects, you're on your way.
So Sandy, how have you used your success to bring goodness to the world?
I talk about it every day. And to me, it's my entire, other than my family, passion in life. Because, and that actually fuels my soul. There's a lot of things that fuel my soul, a lot of things, but that's one of them. And so I feel like that passion and sharing it with others is the most rewarding thing. You know, when I started my podcast, it was, you know, sitting in my family room. I actually, the funny thing is I started it just before COVID. It was in February of 2020 when I started. And my husband and I were talking, and he's like, okay, it's great that you're working with clients. That's great. He goes, but you need a megaphone. And I'm like, you're right, honey, I need a megaphone. And I recorded it, my first podcast recorded off my phone. But I'm like, I just need to get that message out. And that to me is my biggest passion. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
Good.
So how can we find out more about you online?
I am available anywhere as Sandy K Nutrition. So Facebook, I actually have a private Facebook group. It's just Sandy K Nutrition Health and Lifestyle Queen Podcast. And then my podcast is Sandy K Nutrition Health and Lifestyle Queen. I cover off topics that will actually be anywhere from addressing trauma, which I think we all have, to I've had amazing physicians on there talking about the prolonged fasting diet. Is it right for you? So it's a podcast that really embodies that body, the mind, the soul, the spirit, all in one, to help us age better and help us age without illness if we can help it. I'm also on TikTok. I'm trying. And I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Twitter. Twitter, I'm not very active, but I'm there. And anywhere, it's Sandy K Nutrition.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Sandy. This was delightful.
Thank you, Savio. So nice to meet you.
Yeah.